All right. We live. We live. All right. I'm just editing the title of the YouTube stream. Reacting to YouTube content because that's what we're doing today, chat. I will write with y'all. I just need to edit the thumbnail stuff for the YouTube stream, and then I'll just get right into it. I got a lineup of some content we're gonna look at today, and it's about to be lit. Just hold on. Wait for some more people to log in and whatnot. All right. Yeah. I gained a follow on Kick. Yo, what's up? Yo, that's my first follower on Kick, dog. That's awesome. That chat's kind of dicey, yo. Whenever I won't complain. I got a follower now. Actually, really lit. Um, I um got my channel right here. Let's actually get into some content. Now, this is something that I saw on my feed yesterday on YouTube. Let me just share the tab. Talk that. Now this something I've heard a lot about. I'm gonna add this to the Q chat. Uh, Build a lineup for real, for real. End of Tory Lanez. I already saw that one. Uh, why hip hop is dying? Mm, Trey Young is back, I guess, basketball. No, AM Hoops though had a just made a video about James Harden and whatnot, calling Daryl Morey a liar.
Yo,
I
it's
think we'll
Casey.
save
This
that
is
for
AM
last.
Hoops. I am obsessed with the NBA. Little too obsessed, actually, because for 8 years I had a career on TV covering all sports and awkwardly talking to the weather guy.
Mike, your prediction, sir?
But now,
What is going on? It's playing. Oh, is that channel video thing? That can be kind of annoying sometimes. You just make sure my other like stuff is muted, so you don't get like all the feedback or whatnot. That's what it's called. Um, I think we're good now. Yeah, AM Hoops is a great channel for NBA content or like NBA updates and whatnot. If you're a basketball fanatic like me, then you're probably gonna want to check in his channel. Um, James Harden is getting desperate. Some people saw it. I know nobody saw the new post about New York Live. Let's wait, chat. What am I going to do in the meantime? I actually have no idea. Alright, I'll find something to react to. Dalvin Cook signs with the New York Jets. No, I already saw this one. Yeah. Being like, even an idiot, like an actual idiot, could tell that that lady was definitely not 7 foot. Kept changing her height and whatnot. Let's see. What do I want to react to, chat? What should I react to, chat? Um, hmm. Celebrities that work normal jobs. I already saw that one. How did this guy destroy his career? I don't know who this guy is. Hmm. What y'all think, chat? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Let's do it. That bro got the NLE chopper dreads. That's crazy. Kind of look like him. That fit in that photo. Oh, hold on. Oop. It kind of look like the NLE chopper dreads. I don't know. Photo kind of small though. All right. Independent Roads. I already saw that one. Oh yeah. Freaking 2K Playgrounds. What is this? What is that? What? This is so. Whatchamacallem? Excitement has peaked, or whatchamacallem has peaked.
Guys, screen
What is
LOL
this?
is missing. We
Who is
have
this
to
guy?
go find him.
Full screen. Go full
Now.
screen. YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially back on my regular upload schedule.
Oh.
Hold on, did they change the
I'm gonna
loading screen?
expand
Cuz this
YouTube,
look high
man.
definition now. Look at KD forehead. No shot, I gotta do this
Hold on a
again.
second. What was that right there? Right to the Bryce Shear. James Harden video last. And then any other stuff, I'll just put in, like, I'll put more videos in the queue, more interesting videos in the queue as more people file in, you know? All right. Steve Harvey, Meat Canyon. That's pretty good town. Whoa, there's 140 teams in college football? It's crazy. How many viewers we got? Nobody see it yet. Let's make some more content. La, 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 la. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. You're underrating us in these. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Pricey gets laid down for a racing woman. Oh yeah, saw that video. Oh, he really had it coming. He had it coming. NBA legend and players who this Gary Payton was terrified of playing what's his name? Larry Bird. Oh man. Like, if they didn't think he could fly, because he can't fly. Maybe he can't fly. I don't know. And if he's like running out the rim, he just goes up for a dunk and he just jumps like really. He's like jumps like soars, kind of sort of like a bird. I don't know. Maybe. What do you think, Chet? Very, very interesting. Punchman Dev. All right, let's add this. Add the queue. Somebody wearing a Jason Voorhees mask in an NBA game? That's crazy, dog. It's crazy. That's crazy. You know, that's crazy. All right, chat. We got a lineup right here. All right, Punch made Dev. Put this right here. And all right, we got some content, good content right now. We need more content, or just like let's go put some content up. All right, let's get to it. if y'all want to do anything else, then like say it. Yeah. Get to it.
Guys, screens, LOL, is missing. We have to go find him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially back on my regular upload schedule. Hold on, did they change the loading screen? Cuz this look high definition now. But look at KD forehead. No shot I gotta do this again. Bro, I swear to God, and you can't skip this. That's the thing. I've been scrolling for an hour. You can't skip it. Welcome to NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. Open packs to collect players and swag. Game on. I knew that already. If I get LeBron James, I'm him.
Yeah. What the? Cool. Okay.
I mean, I guess that's cool too. That ain't LeBron, though. They gonna make me mad, bro. I want to know who in 2K decided that should be not only in the game, but legendary as well.
Not good.
What I'm gonna do with Dwight Howard? My boy Dwight Howard in like Beijing now. Y'all seen that? I'm not gonna lie. If I was him, I would be taking that bag too, bruh. All I gotta do is learn a little bit of Chinese, bro. Give me 3 days in a YouTube video, bruh, and I'll be straight. If y'all haven't noticed by now, I'm on my other account because if we play on my main account, I realized that it would be a little bit overpowered. It wasn't very hard because all I had to do was spend about $30 and I had every single card in the game. Another thing that I haven't done was play the online mode. Speaking of that, how do you do that? I keep getting the same darn. The online service is unavailable message for those. What? Bro. What? Dog, I'm on Reddit right now. Why y'all got me on Reddit? I'm gonna keep it a buck. This might actually be the craziest fit of all time.
Ew.
Look at the feet! Yo, his feet is 14 feet long. My boy got a Subway sandwich foot. Bro, that's the only one we got on our team, though. We don't got nobody else worthy of being on my team. Like, who? Really, bro? This team gotta be the most special ed team of all time, bro. We gonna have Dwight Howard over there.
Dwight Howard fit.
Speaking Chinese. Wait, who else did I just pick? I just completely forgot my own team. I'm gonna be completely honest. I kind of forgot how to get more people. Because listen, there was a method that I got a bunch of good cards, but I don't remember how I did it. Whole time, I might have to go back and look at one of my own videos. Hold up. I know for a fact that I told y'all how to do the method. Hold up. Bro, that's gotta be a foul. He just gave. Bruh, shut up. Show me the sauce. Hold up. I know it's here, bruh. I know I did it. Cuz, why was I on UFC? Never mind, bro. I can't even trust myself no more, bro. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Bro, that fit is crazy. He looked like Kanye. All right, come on. In there. Bro, that ain't even me, bro. He was hanging on the net. Dunk on bro. He doing them like he doing them in China. That's what I'm talking about. Bro, I'm dogging these bums. Hold up. I ain't never played this game this good in my life. There's no shot my man's is 14,000 feet tall and his hands is the size of refrigerators and you missing a layup. Bro, what that mean in the bottom? Yo, they going Super Saiyan. I've never seen that in my life. Bro, my man's electrocuted. In there, Dwight. In there, Dwight. Them China rims gotta be messing bro up. That's what it is. It's them China rims. He used to them. In there. In there. He just hit the back of the backboard.
That's crazy.
That's off. Dang. Bro, he pulled that from Steph Curry range.
Mm-hmm. Yo, dog.
Buddy with that surfboard has walked past us 500 times. This gotta be like the 50th time I seen bro. I'm using Dwight Howard in a Kanye cosplay, bro. This is ridiculous. Come on, score for me. In there. Bucket. All day. The problem is, I don't got nobody that can shoot. All I can do is layups. So chill, chill. That's off. That's off. Come on, Kanye. Come on, Kanye. Come on, Kanye. In there. On his head. I'm gonna start cussing him out in Chinese too. On his head. Oh, we electrified. We electrified. Come on. I can't lose when I'm electrified. I just got scored on and I'm electrified. Get a steal. Steal it. Steal it. Steal it.
What are you doing?
If he makes that.
You do that.
Bro, I'm pressing X. It's not that's off. That's off. Yes! Yes! Come on! Come on. One stop. Wow. We cannot let them score. If he makes that. I like do him on, Dwight. Do him like you do him in China. Come on! In there. On his head. On his head. on his head with 1 second left. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. It's over. It's over. Game.
Extra time.
Wait, what?
Come on, Dwight.
On his head? I'm out here whooping Robin Hood. I'm whooping Robin Hood. Robin Hood don't want. Oh, we just blew him out. Game over. What the f? No, you ain't making that, little bro. No. You ain't making that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I did not change the difficulty. Oh wait, I think I'm slow.
I'm not gonna count. Screen's low. Bro,
I was just tryharding on rookie mode. Not almost lost on rookie mode. I'ma just have to cut a lot of that out, cause I thought I was him. I thought I was the man. Bro, this gotta be the most sorry matchup of all time. Did y'all see who they just put me up against? Look at Shaq. Even Shaq knows that sucked. Come on, Kanye. Oh, why he slapped me like that? Damn! All up in the hoop. Bro, this mode is not hard. Y'all was lying. If I can still score on them on legendary, that means I can win the game.
Dwight Howard.
Look at that. It's easy. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie, the computer need to start acting like that a little bit more. Cause I be missing a lot and they never do that. I'm pretty sure this on legendary.
What the?
Why, bro, just shoot that? Don't you do that, bro.
I mean, that was smart. Tactical decision, so it breaks the ice.
Bro, they actually suck. They actually are terrible. Okay, y'all gonna have to start relaxing with that.
Ooh, that's nasty.
There's a 99% chance that I'm gonna cut that out. And if I don't, guess what? I'm gonna put an ad right there. I don't care. Y'all, somebody gotta pay for that, and it ain't gonna be me. Okay, y'all gonna have to chill. The game's starting to get awfully close. Y'all gonna have to relax with all that. Don't even matter. On his head. Told you.
Wait, can you even hit 3 in that game?
Wait, what you mean 4 points? How they just get 4 points? What you mean 4 points? On his head! That should be 4. I just laid him out. They need to give me 4 points for that. Forget what they talking about. What you mean 6 points? They cheated. They got a referee advantage, bro. Yo!
They got double points.
Chill. Look at you. Stop. What? No, I'm off. What you mean they got 32? What you mean? I'm off. Oh God, I'm. How they get 32? What you talking about? Are they on crack? Defense is on him like bro, what?
Oh, let's see that. Let's see that.
What you talking about? Are they on crack? Wait, what you mean 4 points? How they just get 4 points? What you mean 4 points? On his head! That should be 4. I just laid him out! They need to give me 4 points for that! Forget what they talking about. What you mean 6 points? They cheated! They got a referee advantage, bro. Yo! Chill. Look at you! Stop! What? No, I'm off! What you mean they got 32? What you mean? I'm off! Oh God, I'm off! How they get 32? What you talking about? Are they on crack?
It might be on crack, dog. I don't know.
Bro, what? What? They trolling, right? Bro, what you mean they got 32? They got that out of nowhere. What you talking about? But the referee's talking about 12 points. I ain't never heard of a 12-point play in my life. He had no points all game until he scored that. He scored 1 time and got 12. I got 19 in the whole game. How you get 12? What you talking about 12? I just lost to Kelly Olynyk.
Subscribe to my nigga.
Screen low.
Screens.
Wow.
Low.
Wow. Alright, bro, we gotta react to some more of this content for real. He spent his life savings on 2K Playground. That's crazy. Oh, well, here's another James Harden situation. I don't know if I already saw this video or not. Whatever, I'll react to it for you. I'll react to it for you, chat. I love y'all. James Harden situation. Oh, that's like 20 minutes? Maybe not, chat. I don't know. We'll see what I got time for. Why isn't my junk scrolling? Do my junk not? Hold on a second, chat. The page not scrolling. I'm not even capping. Like, I don't know, dog. Oh, hold on, hold on. This is working. It's working. I think it's working. It's like lagging or something. Oh, this game's from 2018. It's like the same time 2K Mobile came out. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hold on, chat. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right, I think it's good enough. This is what Punch Make Dev is scamming the internet.
Many creators from the
Nobody
NBA 2K community have eventually moved on to flourish in other venues. AMP as a group comes from the community, whether directly or indirectly. iShowSpeed and Aiden Ross has changed the live streaming game forever, and Dev Take Flight became Punch Made Dev. The internet and Aiden
Oh,
Many
okay.
creators from the NBA 2K community have eventually moved on to flourish in other.
All right, so people, 2K creators go on to other, like, parts to succeed. I really want 2K22 for real. You know what I'm saying? But, like, Apple locking it up in Apple Arcade, dog. I really think that's kind of like for real, dog, for real. Gotta pay to play. I mean, I guess paying like $4.99 a month to play a bunch of other games is better than having to pay like $50 or like $60 for a game on console. I mean, that's just me, but like y'all, that's just me. All right, yo, to all the viewers out there in Kick and YouTube, drop a sub. You made it this far through the stream. Drop a sub. Show me some love. Love a dub, 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 dub. All right, let's get to the video.
The venues. AMP as a group comes from the community, whether directly or indirectly. iShowSpeed and Aiden Ross has changed the live streaming game forever, and Dev Take Flight became Punch Made Dev. The internet's most famous scammer, but at least for the time being. But what if I told you what Dev is getting buzzed for right now is not anything new? The Bible says that there is nothing new under the sun, and what has been done will be done again. In the past few years, a controversial subgenre of rap called scam rap has become popular in underground circles, which focuses on lyrics about committing cybercrimes, identity theft, and credit card fraud. This style of rap was popularized by the rapper TJX6, who gained a massive following in 2019. His songs like Dark Web and Swipe Story lay out the intricate details of how certain scams are committed. Cashier Quan, a notable collaborator of TJ, is also known as one of the pioneers of scam rap. As recently as a few years ago, the rap group known as Shitty Boys, led by Baby Tron, brought.
Bro, it went from people in rap documenting like actual like physical crimes like drive-bys, murder, robbery, stuff like that, to people documenting cyber crimes. I think that might have, chat, you think that might have something to do with like this world becoming more digitized? I don't know. That's a thought, but
mainstream attention to the genre. Scam rap is not much different from popular rap that we're used to, as it still leaves room to negatively influence today's youth, enticing them to commit crimes. Though the lyrics of TJX6 and Cashier Quan have crossed the line on many instances, the genre is not known to be overly offensive and edgy when it comes to delivery. The Shitty Boys are a great example of that, as they don't engage in that type of behavior, taking a serious approach when it comes to their brand in comparison to their peers. This is likely the reason for all their continued success. However, Punch Made Dev decided to stand out from his contemporaries, completely pushing the envelope by engaging in some of the most offensive lyricism that you probably ever heard. But before he was Punch Made Dev, the internet's most famous scammer, he was Devon Turner, just another kid from the South. Devon was born in North Carolina, living in a single-parent home as the oldest of his siblings. He would move around a lot due to his mother's work, eventually settling in Lexington, Kentucky, a place that would shape his adult life. Dev grew up in a good home for the most part, with his mother providing what she could in her position.
I feel like it taught me a lot. Like,
Really? Shiesty dog. Sorry, I can't really take people who wear shiesty masks seriously. Like, in this day and age, like 2023, if you weren't out here wearing a shiesty mask, dog, I really can't take you seriously. I'm not gonna cap. All right, back to the video.
made me grow up quick. It's taught me a lot of skills. This made me know that I gotta have my own back.
In school, he was a B's and C's student, being really good at sports like track, basketball, and football, even though he really didn't like going to school. His love for sports spilled over into another interest, which was gaming. From gaming came YouTube. Dev started YouTube at 15 years old under the name Dev Take Flight and would record himself playing NBA 2K to a large following. This is where his early days of scamming began. In the online game modes of NBA 2K, there is a ranking system, with the highest ranks being the most coveted for the number of in-game prizes. Dev saw this as an opportunity, taking advantage of the adolescent minds of his fellow gamers when he decided to scam them with fake accounts, fooling them into thinking they were high level.
Like, so there's like different ranks on there. Like, you can go from like, you can be a legend on there. And I was like acting like I was selling like high ranked ass accounts, like with all the badges and like 99 overall, like Legend 5 account. And then I would just post them on there and people would buy them and then I just block them.
You can only get so far by just playing games, so when the NBA 2K community was at its lowest point, Dev decided to switch it up, pursuing his real passion in making music. He found some early success with a song called Track Meet, hopping on the meme rap trend that was alive and well in 2018. This song sits at over 18 million plays on Spotify and over 600,000 views on YouTube before it got deleted. After seeing that music was worth pursuing, Dev decided to private all of his NBA 2K videos and change his name to OBN Dev. Shortly after, he ventured into scam rap, drawing inspiration from artists inside and outside the genre like YBN Namir, Polo G, and TJX6. He started to gain traction with songs like Scam Jesus and Scam Bible, with these music videos racking up almost 4 million views combined. Very impressive for a new artist. As time went on, Dev started to build up his connections, but not without some controversy. He would get himself into a feud with TJX6 over Dev supposedly scamming him out of a feature, escalating into personal attacks and online drama.
Two scam rap artists scamming each other out of something. Or two scam artists, one scamming the other out of something. I don't know about y'all chat, but that seems like kind of ironic. Usually I think scam rappers would stick to scamming others, but like one of them scamming another? I don't know, that's just kind of funny. All right, back to it.
Documented on Instagram. One of the highest points of this beef was when Dev chased TJ in his car after TJ asked for his location to pull up, only to allegedly duck smoke after he spotted Dev waiting with a group of people.
That's running. Hold on. Hey, look for police. Bro, this nigga's running for real?
Dev would then drop a diss track titled Scam Jesus 2, which sits at over 600,000 views. The last we would hear of TJX6 will be after Dev pulled up on him last year in the mall looking to fight, with TJ not accepting the challenge.
Bitch ass nigga, watch your kids. Don't talk none of that shit on the internet no more. None of that shit on the internet no more. Little nigga, you had a chance to come outside.
Dev continued his disrespect, posting.
He's stupid. Like, bro, walking up on him with his kids, dog, like, you just look stupid, yelling at somebody in the mall like that when they just chilling with their kids and whatnot.
TJ's son on his story and calling him a bitch. This entire situation severely hurt TJX6's career and reputation, on top of the accusations of him allegedly scamming his own fans. But for Dev's career, it would only take off. In 2021, he uploaded his final video under the OBN Dev moniker in collaboration with the Shitty Boys. In June of that year, he launched a new YouTube channel called Punch Made Dev and updated the rest of his social media accounts to reflect that name change. Punch Made Dev's outrageous and offensive lyrics almost instantly attractive criticism on platforms like Twitter and TikTok, with some expressing genuine dislike for his music. This is due to his many controversial lines in songs like Punch Anthem, Geeker Party, Long Live Heather, and How to Write It Dumb. That includes him mocking victims of school shootings and advocating for deadly drug use. He dropped a song titled Special Needs Kid, in which he pushes someone playing an autistic person out of a wheelchair. Earlier this month, Punch Made Dev.
He dark, bro. That's dark, bro. Mm-mm. That's disgusting. I hope he gets what's coming to him, though.
I've uploaded a video titled Wire Fraud Tutorial, where he gives you step-by-step instructions on how to commit wire fraud. But just a few days
Yo, the police gotta get him for that, bro. He's literally like, that's like when Bobby Shmurda snitched on himself in that song. He's basically snitching on himself. He's basically pulling a Bobby Shmurda.
days after dropping it, YouTube removed the video after a request from outside sources. These sources turned out to be law enforcement, possibly the FBI, seeking information about Dev's
He snitched on himself.
YouTube account. He reached out to YouTube to appeal, but was turned away. This song was shaping up to be the biggest of Punch made Dev's career, as he had a viral hit on his hands. Despite his offensive lines, there's some speculation about Dev's involvement in actual illegal activities. Although he claims that his music is not reflective of reality and he is a law-abiding citizen, there are clues that suggest otherwise. First, Dev is accused of selling fraudulent methods to his fans in a Telegram chat that has more than 180,000 members. He has offered a Cash App method for sale and claimed to possess a bot capable of bypassing two-factor authentication. His knowledge of cybercrimes and precautions such as the use of VPNs and proxy servers raise additional concerns about his activities. I think Dev would like us to believe that he has nothing to do with these activities and is merely playing a character to advance his music career. And until I see some evidence presented by the police, if he's arrested, I have no reason to doubt him other than his flashy lifestyle filled with diamond chains and stacks of money. Let's not act like this is the first time we've seen a rapper fake a persona. Some have even said that Dev's explanations and the scamming methods in YouTube Tommy G's video could be used as evidence against him in the
Why you even need all them diamonds, bro? Ain't your neck hurting at some point? Got all these, like, I'm gonna assume that's like either like silver or gold and whatnot. And y'all know gold is not light, bro. All them diamonds must be heavy, though. Like, how you just carry all that around on your neck, dog? I mean, me? No.
future, but I find it hard to believe that Dev is so naive as to show his hands so casually, no matter how arrogant he may appear. You can come back and comment if I'm wrong. Despite the numerous controversies surrounding him, Punch Made Dev intends to keep making music and gaining attention on the internet. Only time will tell if he faces legal consequences for his actions in the future. One thing is certain, the law is definitely watching.
Corey Tension being found dead? What? Right here, wide gray. How he destroyed his coat. All right, let me check on that chat and whatnot. Yo, drop a thumbs up in the chat if y'all still here. Y'all made it to this point, drop a thumbs up in the chat, for real. Drop a sub too. 39 minutes. All right. And be sure, head on over to my YouTube channel and drop a sub too. Touches my heart, you know? Show your boy some love. All right. Check something real quick. All right, let's keep going.
Brashear Y. Gray became the hottest thing on television when he landed the role of Hakeem Lyon on Empire. He had so many plans for his career, and Hollywood held the door open for him to explore multiple.
Ew. I mean, I mess with the toys and whatnot, but the sideburn type things, ew, dude. Ew. Cut them off. Ew.
Options, with the ladies drooling over his bite-sized self and rumors that he was making about $20,000 per episode, Brashear was living the life of his dreams. But everything came to a screeching halt when he got embroiled in back-to-back controversies. In the end, his personal decisions derailed his career, and he hasn't been able to bounce back ever since. Before we jump into other people's business, be sure to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, watermelon licorice, and butter toffee peanuts. Brashear was born in Germantown on November.
Dog, you had me at jerky. Let me see if I can drop a sub. It's not letting me scroll though. I'll go back and give them a sub. They earned a sub, not gonna cap.
November 28, 1993, and was raised in West Philadelphia. At the age of 16, he became interested in rapping, eventually rhyming under the moniker Yaz the Greatest.
Yes.
After his first on-stage performance, he fell in love with music even more. He got a job at Pizza Hut and told Vibe magazine he used his first check to pay for a music video. He promoted it everywhere on Facebook at all hours of the day. He started writing rhymes while on the job and eventually got fired. Since he was
I mean, at least he had that hustle though.
Unemployed and had a lot of time on his hands, he decided to commit every minute to making music. He met his manager, Charlie Mack, who is good friends with Will Smith. Through that connection, Brashear was able to do a video audition for Lee Daniels' new show, Empire. Lee loved what Brashear was working with, so he got flown out to LA to audition in person and was able to meet the show's other stars, Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. And as we all know, the rest is history. During a chat with high school students, he revealed he was homeless at one point before landing the role on Empire. He said, "I'm living proof that you all can do whatever you all want to do." He indeed is proof that anything can happen as long as you stay focused and stay on the right path, which, oddly enough, turned out to be the...
You hear that, y'all? Do anything you want to. Stay focused, stay on the right path, and go get it. For real, chat. Alright. Just keep the video rolling on. La, 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 la.
The two things he was unable to do in the long run.
Really?
He also bonded with Taraji. He said, "I learned how to treat a woman from Taraji. She teaches me things on life experiences."
Yeah, like an auntie.
He relocated to California and tried his best to stay on the straight and narrow path. He told New York Times, "You have to stay focused on what you want and not get distracted. Having too much free time can get you into trouble."
That's right.
With the increased exposure from being on the show, he capitalized on his newfound fame. He played the role of Michael Bivins in the 2017 New Edition miniseries, and he landed roles in Honey, Rise Up and Dance, Canal Street, and Sprinter. He had plans to release a studio album, and he also wanted to go out on tour. But then, in June 2019, he was pulled over in Chicago, and police found out the tags on his 2014 Rolls-Royce didn't match the registration. After further investigation, cops discovered he was also driving without a license or insurance. He was booked on a misdemeanor and later released.
See, this is the NLE Chopper Dread I was talking about where oh no. That's messy, dog. Bro need an edge up, shave, get that beard off, and he needs somebody to redo them things. Ooh.
Least. And then, just 5 months later, one of his friends spit on the floor inside of an Orlando 7-Eleven. Brashear said he started cleaning up the spit while the clerk proceeded to yell and throw something at him. He stated he then grabbed a bag of chips and threw them back at the store clerk before leaving the establishment. No arrests were made, and cops promised to review the surveillance footage to find out what really went down. Although the results of the surveillance footage weren't...
I mean, could you really get arrested for throwing a bag of chips? Anything's possible.
Weren't made public, the incident served as a precursor to more serious allegations. Empire ended in April 2020 after 6 seasons. 1 month after the series finale, TMZ reported his landlord filed a lawsuit alleging Brashear and his dog made a little over $26,000 worth of damages to a Chicago condo. The landlord was also seeking an additional $7,000 to cover attorney fees. We're unable to find the results of the case. And besides, that was the least of his worries.
I mean, bro, you're an actor on Empire, bro. you making enough money, you making money from like other gigs and whatnot, you should probably have more than enough money to pay for that. But sure, like nobody wants to just pull like $33,000 out of their behind and just pay for something. But like, at least like you got it. You can pay for it.
3 months later, in July 2020, a woman named Candace Jimdar flagged down a Good Samaritan in Goodyear, Arizona, and asked for help. She later told authorities the argument began after she confronted her husband about having messages from other women in his cell phone. She said her husband said the messages were fake before attacking her. The SWAT team and crisis negotiators arrived at the residence a little over 10 p.m. They eventually persuaded the man to surrender around 7 a.m. the next morning. And yep, you guessed it, the man was Brashear. He was taken into custody, and he looked almost unrecognizable in his mugshot. While being questioned by police, Brashear defended himself by saying, "I have a career. I'm an artist."
Hold on a second. I got that stream preview. Where's my on Kick running? My bad, chat. Let's keep this rolling.
I have a lot of things to lose. He also referred to Candace as his best friend, and when the police asked if they were married, he said they were, in a way, but they also had an open relationship, and he was okay with her having a boyfriend since he was so busy with his career. It was later determined that they indeed tied the knot 9 months before the incident occurred. Candace later told the authorities that Brashear was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and ADHD, and he refused to take his medication. He pleaded guilty in May 2020.
Just reacted to the picture, chat. Oh, look crazy. It look like
21 and was sentenced to 10 days in county jail and 3 years probation. He was ordered to stay away from substances and to stay out of trouble, or he'd be locked up again. Well, in October 2022, he was back in some more mess after police responded to a domestic disturbance. The details of that incident are unknown. And then in November 2022, a woman in Maricopa, Arizona told police she was dating Brashear, but his behavior escalated and she became concerned for her safety. His probation officer caught wind of both incidents. A judge signed a warrant and Brashear was locked up. The results of those charges are unclear. As of this video, Brashear hasn't appeared in a film or TV show since Empire ended in 2020. Ultimately, his personal issues and his time away from the spotlight have led to his fall from grace. Do you think Brashear can make a comeback? Let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.
I mean, I don't know if he can make a comeback. I don't know, dog. This is an AM Hoops video, y'all. This is what I was talking about earlier in the stream.
Why is Patrick Beverly so angry? This man has no respect for any player. Who does the too small on LeBron? He had such a grudge for the Lakers after trading him, he posted a Charmin pic on IG, the ultra soft edition. Now his focus is to knock them out of the playoffs? What happened to this man? Well, once you hear his backstory, it makes sense. Pat Bev is from a tough neighborhood in Chicago where very few people make it out. Not only is there drug and gang violence, but Bev grew up without a father and his mom dated drug dealers. Once when he was 8 years old, his mom told Bev to run while she was getting robbed for 20 bucks. His grandma didn't know how to raise a man and told him, I don't know, watch all the Godfather movies? Not great. Bev says, they kind of molded me to be this little baby gangster before I was me. So he started dealing drugs in high school and was very successful. He learned the rules of the street from one of his mom's boyfriends, who was eventually shot 8 times and killed in his car. But the other path out of poverty was basketball. Bev was too poor to afford AAU, but he was so good in high school, they made a documentary about him.
Patrick Beverly, 6'2" guard, Long, wiry, strong, athletic.
He's the star and the focus is on him, and everyone in that team knows that. And that's a large part of Marsh's success, is that they know he's the man.
By the time he was a senior, Bev got an offer from Arkansas, which regularly sends guys to the NBA. He averaged 14 points and was one of the best defenders as a freshman, but after his second year, Bev's life fell apart. He was kicked out of school for cheating on an exam and found himself back home in Chicago with 2 kids of his own. To make things worse, he got kicked out of school in July, 1 month after the NBA draft. So teams already had their rosters set, and it was that much tougher to make it to the NBA. Bev's agent advanced him $5,000, and in 2008, at 19 years old, he was a drug dealer again. He was providing for the family when tragedy changed the direction of his life. One day, somebody ran a red light and slammed into Bev's car, flipping it 3 times. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt, but he left the scene without a scratch. Bev remembers hearing a voice say, "You're gonna be okay," which shook him, but it didn't save his best friend.
That was God, bro. That was God that said that.
Donovan Morris was like a brother because they grew up in the same house, and weeks after the crash, the friends were hanging out in their neighborhood. Bev went home, but Morris stayed and was murdered on the street at 16 years old. Bev says, "I shouldn't have brought him. I should have grabbed him. Anything, you know? I had nightmares for 2 months straight." But 2 days after that murder, he got a call to play pro basketball in Ukraine. And as crazy as it sounds to leave his family to play in another country, Bev didn't want to end up like his brother. He says if it wasn't for that murder, he never would have left. But the problem with that pro team was it was not a path to the NBA. He was in the 2nd division in Ukraine, not even their best league. Bev was on 21-hour train rides just to get to the next game. But he did everything possible to stand out. He made their all-star team. He won their slam dunk contest. So in 2009, he was a 2nd-round pick by the Lakers, about to be Kobe's teammate who just won a championship. But then he was traded a day later to the Heat, who cut him before the season. So he went back to Europe, this time with a top Greek team, Olympiakos. Bev still dreamed of the NBA, and he helped Olympiakos win the Greek Cup title in 2010. Next year, he goes to Russia and really started to hone his craft. He dropped 38 points in a game, won Euro Cup MVP. At that moment, Bev decided, you know what? Screw the NBA. I'm going to become a legend in Europe. I'm going to break every record. I'm going to win all the titles. And 3 days later, the NBA came calling. 2 teams offered Bev a spot. The Cavs or the Rockets. Bev decided, well, I'm probably not going to beat Kyrie Irving at starting point guard. So he chose Houston to battle Jeremy Lin. But then a harsh reality put his dream on hold. To get out of his Russian contract, it would cost $1.6 million. The Rockets would only pay $250K, leaving Bev on the hook for the other $1.4 million. So should he pay it? I mean, if this didn't work out, not only would he be in debt, he would be without a job. But instead of giving up on his dream, he agreed to have it come out of his paycheck, and he moved to Houston. In training camp with the Rockets, Bev created the identity that he still has today. He was a decent three-point shooter, but more importantly, a lockdown defender. The NBA is the highest level of basketball in the world, and a lot of standouts in other leagues have to become specialists just to survive. Bev found his calling cards early, and it won him the starting job over Jeremy Lin by the end of the season. Houston needed spacing to allow Dwight Howard to do his thing down low. Pat Bev could shoot the 3. They needed defense to pair with James Harden in the backcourt. Pat Bev was the obvious choice. He made the NBA and was starting on a championship level team. Meanwhile, he's at home living with his mom because he can't afford his own place, making $11,000 paychecks, which sounds like a lot, but by NBA standards, It is nothing. So every night he played with a fire because he had to stick in the league to pay off that debt. In the playoffs, he guarded prime Russell Westbrook, and while he didn't shut Russ down, he got in his head and made him work. Russ went 10 for 26 in game 2 with 4 turnovers and was 1 for 7 from 3. But then Russ was about to call a timeout before Bev lunged at the ball and collided with Russ's knee, tearing his meniscus. Bev says he didn't mean to injure him, but it ruined OKC's playoff hopes. Bev did that as a rookie, so he and Russ became enemies and had heated battles throughout the years, but Russ was far from his only rival. He also has beef with Chris Paul. He doesn't care how respected someone is in the league. Gave it to with Chris Paul. He doesn't care how respected.
Yo, you see how Chris Paul's head jerked back? You said, yo, that was funny. I'm not gonna lie, yo, that was funny.
Someone is in the league. Gave it to Kevin Durant in the playoffs as a Clipper. Not annoying. KD actually thought it was funny. How about young, more talented guards? He even knocked Dennis Smith Jr. to the ground and busted out a tooth. But that attitude has kept Pat Bev in the league while the next up guys faded. When he earned his first big payday of $40 million from Houston, he bought his mom a 6-bedroom house in town so she could enjoy his journey too. In total, this man has made $79 million and played 12 seasons in the NBA, despite having to play in Europe for 4 years. Not many people are the Ukraine dunk champion and all-NBA defense. Once you understand his story, Pat Bev's attitude starts to make sense. Everyone I guard is like, man, how'd you get ranked in front of me? There's no way you've been through what I've been through. 7, 8 seconds left, I can go down deeper and get motivation from things that cause me so much pain that people can never get to. And what's crazy is how different a story NBA players have. One guy is motivated by pain, the other guy is still an underdog, but has a totally different reason to succeed. Austin Reeves has broke out this year on the Lakers. His motivation is unique. Check it out.
Not really. I can't really scroll and see what's next in my queue. Alright. That was a nice video. I made it this far in the stream.
I couldn't think of a great title for this video, so it ended up sounding a little more intense than I planned.
This is the Goodbye Twitch one. Y'all ain't heard the news already. Penguins, or Moist Critical, you might know him as, is leaving Twitch. Pretty big news. I mean, at least on the internet it is. Like, I'm not saying, like, if you go to, like, NBC or something, you're gonna, like, see reporters covering this topic, but, like, pretty big. Other YouTubers made videos on it. Made videos on this or something, or, like, talking about it. All right, chat. Let's get to it. Moist Critical or Penguins or whatever.
I couldn't think of a great title for this video, so it ended up sounding a little more intense than I planned for it to be, but make no mistake, it's still going to be a high-octane video that's going to blow your hair back. I am saying goodbye to Twitch, but not fully in the way that you think.
Really?
It's not like a funeral service for the Moist Critical Twitch channel. That would be the saddest way of going out ever, because the last broadcast on there is from last night, and it is some of the most despicably trash Warlock gameplay Dark and Darker has ever seen. Having that cursed footage be the last thing broadcast on my Twitch channel before retiring it would be more embarrassing than if my dick pics leaked. So, pop a squat by the fireplace and let me explain. My Twitch contract has been terminated amicably between myself and Twitch, and a huge thanks to Twitch for being so...
Bro, Twitch be out of line because of banning some of their top creators, dog. They banned Kaisenet, they banned Gideon. Who else did they ban? I think they also banned like Dr. Disrespect for no reason. They banned a lot of people, bro. I mean, like, what is wrong with Twitch, bro? Like, the people at Twitch, like, don't they know if like the more big creators they have, the more money they're gonna get? Because like the way they run their servers, their infrastructure and stuff like that, it costs a bunch of money. And like they'll have money to like keep it running. They keep the big name, big money creators, if that makes sense. But now now Twitch is banning those creators. I mean, Twitch is gonna learn one way or another because you like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Let's get back to the video.
So willing to do that because I did still have a lot of time remaining on my Twitch contract, but I wanted to be able to have flexibility to stream elsewhere, and Twitch fully understood and gave me that firm pat on the ass and said, "You go get 'em, champ." So I am no longer exclusive with Twitch. Now, this isn't me announcing that I've signed somewhere else with like a contract. This isn't like a LeBron James The Decision moment where I'm coming up here and saying, I'm taking my talent, well, for me, I'm taking my lack of talent to Mixer. It's nothing like that. This is just simply me saying Twitch was nice enough to turn our contract into toilet paper, which is what I wanted because I really like the idea of not being forced into one place. I'd like to be able to spread my fucking butterfly wings and be able to try different things on different platforms. So it means a lot that Twitch was willing to, terminate that contract because under that contract, I couldn't. But now the dog's off the leash. I could rip my shirt off, twirl it over my head like a helicopter blade and start streaming on Facebook if I wanted to.
I wonder if there are any like big creators on Facebook that just like pull in like thousands of views. Maybe I should try Facebook Live. I don't know.
If I was a crazy person, I'm not doing that. Never happening.
Oh.
But I could, is the point. Now, one thing that I've been pretty vocal about is I do think streaming contracts are a great thing, not only for streamers, but for the audience as well. Because I really do like the idea that you can just watch streams for free. You never need to turn on donations. You never need anyone to pay with subs or anything like that. There'd be no expectation or some feeling of obligation to pay for the streaming content you're watching because you'd know the streamer.
Speaking of subs, if y'all made it this far into the stream, we've been streaming for like an hour now. Y'all drop a sub and put a thumbs up in the chat for real. Y'all made it this far in the stream. Drop a like or drop a sub or whatnot. Wait a minute. Trying to figure it. No, I didn't repeat myself. Y'all made it this far in the stream. Drop a like, drop a sub, put a thumbs up in the chat. All right. I'm not gonna say this a takeover, but I'm growing. Channel gonna grow for real. Make some money off of this. For real, for real. All right, let's get back to the video.
Is getting some kind of hourly rate or kind of contract with the platform they're on. I just think that's fucking fantastic and should be the future because me streaming a game shouldn't be something that's paywalled or inundated with ads out the wazoo. It should be something you could just flip on, completely free to watch and have nothing else to do but kick back and have fun. Streamers not having to rely on donations, I think, is just a great win-win across the board because unfortunately, there are times where someone gives more money than they should to someone that is financially far better off than they are. And it's just an unfortunate circumstance of the streaming landscape that I think could be improved if contracts were more normalized in the streaming space. And this is going to sound a little weird because I just terminated my Twitch contract, yet I'm talking about how good contracts can be for streaming. So this is where I'm just going to be totally open and honest. All the money I make from streaming goes into our esports organization, Moist Esports. And if you know anything about esports, you'd know it's an absolute bonfire for money. It is actually just flushing toilet forever without ever seeing a turn. It's why so many of these orgs go completely defunct. It is just bleeding money until there is nothing left to bleed. and then it's tiers. Like, that's just the landscape of esports. But we're in esports because we're passionate about it. I fucking love the esports scene. I really do. So all the money I've made over the last 2 years from streaming has all gone into Moist Esports, and that will continue to be the case going forward. And with the Twitch contract, if you ask anyone who's currently under Twitch contracts, you'll know, they'll tell you, it is the lowest possible offer across any of the other streaming platforms that have ever offered contracts.
Because Twitch does like the 50-50 split. They greedy over there.
It's about a tenth of what the rest of the industry was offering streamers. Now, I'm pretty sure Twitch put the kibosh on offering contracts in general, but when they were, it was a pretty large ask from the streamer in terms of hours broadcast per month, as well as ad density. There was always an ad expectation. Of course, there was wiggle room in terms of how many ads you'd play per hour, but there was always that expectation, which, as I've said many times, I think is not conducive to a good viewer experience because of how poorly ads are implemented on the platform. I think the ads are way too intrusive, and there's a lot of room for improvement there. So the contract was very strict, and the payment of the contract was not enough to even cover a single one of the Moist Esports teams. So we all just kind of felt like this contract isn't really doing anything except making the streams worse because of having to pump ads into them. And it just didn't make sense anymore. And we wanted...
Stay hydrated, y'all. Just want to make a quick side note.
to try new content, but we couldn't really get excited about Twitch as a platform because not only that, the platform's kind of been making some horrible decisions over the last couple of years. I do think they're starting to get a little bit better. Like, I think they're starting to get it a bit more, but not much. Like, I'm hoping they'll correct course here and steer the ship a bit better, but it's just been hard to get passionate about Twitch, and I'm sure a lot of other streamers have felt the same way. I've seen quite a few of them say similar things. But again, the primary motivation has just been that flexibility, not being locked down.
And that's why I went straight to Kick and YouTube, feel me? Because I know, like, Kick is like, it's just starting up for real. And it's still in its beta. I could, like, be one of the, I don't know, like backbone creators, founding creators, or something like that. Something like that. And like YouTube, it's already established as a place where you can like stream and like get big, you know what I'm saying? Or have like a little community.
By the Twitch contract, which had the very strict exclusivity clause where you couldn't stream anywhere else, and I don't think there would have ever been an exception where they'd let us stream elsewhere. And it's something I've wanted to do different type of content in different places. Most notably, like YouTube streaming, I think would be a very fun place to try some of our newer, bigger projects on, as opposed to being forced to do them on Twitch. Which is nice because I've been wanting to try different things on YouTube streaming in particular. I know that's not the most shocking platform switch ever, considering I actively post videos on this platform already, but I really feel like the streaming side of here is just a totally different beast. And if we have any octogenarians in the audience right now, many of you might remember that I actually did used to stream on YouTube back in 2017. I streamed on here for about a year, and then in 2018 I made the switch back to Twitch, and I've been exclusive on there since 2018.
Right.
That platform's always been my home for streaming, and it brings a tear to my eye thinking back on it. Not many people know this. This is deep cut Charles lore here, but I used to stream on Twitch way before it was Twitch. Back in 2010, I was an active streamer on Justin TV, which would eventually become Twitch. And boy howdy, let me tell you, with my hand on a stack of Bibles, the streams I did...
Alright, chat. I'm not gonna lie, I've lost interest for real. Let's look at something else. I had a James Harden video like right after this. James Harden is getting desperate. Another AM Hoops video.
You do not want to mess with James Harden. If you refuse to trade him, he'll potentially put on a fat suit and party in Vegas to make things uncomfortable. Or in Brooklyn, he'll literally stop playing in the middle of your games. Now, dude demands a trade, and Philly says no deal. They have ended ended trade talks with the Clippers. Too bad, Harden. So he comes out and says this.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
That is harsh. And from another angle, did he get his fat suit back out of the closet? But
Bro, Daryl Morey is basically like the guy that put him on board in Houston. And he took him in Philly, bro. And just dissing him like that? Oh, Daryl Morey got to be hurt right now. You're not hurt. Maybe his feelings hurt. I don't know. Let's keep going.
how is the GM Daryl Morey a liar? Harden says last year he took less money with the promise of a max contract this offseason. That is against NBA rules, but happens all the time. But Morey went back on his word, so Harden is burning down the team. But something is different than all his other trade demands in the past. James Harden is about to ruin the NBA for other NBA players. He demanded out after opting into his $35.6 million contract, wanting the Clippers. But rumors say LA refused to include Terrence Mann in the trade, so Philly GM...
Yo, Terrence Mann is a dog, bro. I really hope Terrence Mann really becomes like a star in the NBA, bro. I love, bro, way he plays.
Daryl Morey said no deal. Now, reports say Harden has no plans to show up for work as a Sixer. The first comment you will hear is, so...
Dog, he's pulling a Ben Simmons.
Why did he opt in? Don't want to play for Philly? No problem. Don't opt into your contract. But that was the only way that he could get to the Clippers. Every contender doesn't have cap space, so unless Harden was going to take the minimum, he had to opt in so they could trade for it. Now, I'm not saying that is right. I'm just explaining his mindset. But the problem is Harden has no leverage. If he wants big money next year, he's got to ball out, not sit out, so Philly is going to call his bluff. Also, no one wants him that bad. He thought the Clippers were going to be desperate to get a guy who can't perform under pressure. Yeah, he had good games in the playoffs, but once again, in the biggest spot, he collapsed. Game 7 against the Celtics, he was 3 for 11 with 9 points.
Oh, yeah.
No one would be excited if James Harden came to their team. He's the only person who doesn't...
Game 5 really wasn't that bad. Not too bad. And then he got worse, and then he got worse.
See that. Now, Harden's about to ruin the NBA for everyone else. Players worked for years to get max contracts and demand trades. It was called player empowerment. People loved it. Fans and media root for players to get what they want. But no one wants Harden to get his wish. They are sick of him getting paid millions and then acting like a child when he doesn't get his way. It is the third time he's done that. Now, Adam Silver must come out and make a statement against Harden. It is a horrible look for the league when a player can opt into his contract, then refuse to play for the team he said he'd play for. The commissioner needs to say they will use every rule to punish James Harden. The first rule is not getting paid. 2 years ago when Ben Simmons did this, Philly withheld his game checks, which amounted to about half his salary. Then Simmons' agent sued the team and they had to give back some of that money, but Silver should revoke every dime. The second thing is an old rule that has never been used. The NBA says a player who withholds playing services for more than 30 days after the start of the last season covered by his contract shall not be a veteran free agent and shall not be entitled to negotiate or sign a contract with any other pro basketball team until the team for which the player last played expressly agrees otherwise. Basically, if he holds out, he ain't a free agent. The Sixers can refuse to let him sign with any other team. It has never been done because
team empowerment.
That would be savage. In the era of player empowerment, that would be insane. But now, people would love to see that used against James Harden. Harden thinks he is a max-level superstar who can just demand a trade whenever he wants.
Maybe like Houston James Harden, like when prime Houston James Harden. Maybe him, but like not now James Harden, bro. kind of fell off.
That was years ago. Now, teams will feel entitled to fight back against these players. We're already seeing it with Damian Lillard this offseason. He's like the kid in class who doesn't even try to hide his phone. Then the teacher sees it and takes everyone's phone away. You ruined it for everyone else. Things are changing.
I think Damian Lillard deserves to get traded to the team he wants to, though. He deserves it, though. Bro needs his ring. So does like Jimmy Butler needs his ring, bro. Who else on the Heat team needs a ring? No. Oh no, this Dame and Jimmy Butler need their rings.
As they should. The NBA is the only workplace where
check out that post.
as they should.
Ooh, that Cole Anthony
ruined it for everyone else. Things are changing as they should. The NBA
that was definitely Cole Anthony.
NBA is the only workplace where contracts are meaningless. If Damian Lillard wants to be elsewhere, why did he sign his max extension last year? Same with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. Nobody's forcing these guys to sign, but the new trend
KD good in Phoenix now, so
is sign now, ask out later. The least they can do is honor their agreement. And I'm not saying player movement is bad for the NBA. We all love trades and free agency. It's fun, but it's the dirty game some guys play that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. The worst example is James Harden, who has more trade demands than anyone, but he is not the only person to blame. I like Daryl Morey. But what are you doing? Is Terrence Mann gonna change your world? The full deal Philly wanted was Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, and 2 first-round picks. How bad would it be to just get Norm Powell and picks? Terrence Mann is worth all this drama? You think Joel Embiid wants to do the whole Ben Simmons holdout thing again? Dude's already hinting at a trade demand. At this point, it's a matter of time before the MVP is out of Philly. Either they trade Harden for trash, or Harden causes drama. Either way, it ends badly. But what about the Clippers? Why not trade Terrence Mann to get James Harden? I know he's been horrible in the playoffs, but as a number 3, the best chances Harden has ever had was in OKC and in Brooklyn. Both
that pass was smooth.
Times he was the 3rd best
he looked unrecognizable
player. In OKC, he came off the bench with KD and Russ and made the finals. As a net, he would have won a chip if everyone stayed healthy. That's not hating on the Bucks in 2021. Harden hurt his hamstring, Kyrie sprained his ankle, and it still went to a Game 7. So Harden as a number 3 is actually a recipe
Kevin Durant almost did it by himself.
For success, and they won't trade
I don't think the score was that close though in the last
Terrence Mann. But I have to say, James Harden's legacy is trashed. That's why I was shocked to hear a former NBA player, Jeff Teague, say this.
I got him over D-Wade, but I'm out of pocket. Like, D-Wade, he had Shaq, then he had Bron. He ain't never really been by himself. When Miami was by themselves, they was trash.
Prime James Harden,
he had 35 for like 5 years. Like,
and how many assists?
35.
And like 10 assists, bro. He better than D-Wade, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
What? No. I don't care that Harden puts up numbers. They dry up in the biggest games. Great players are defined in the playoffs. When young D-Wade was paired with Shaq, he was the best player in the NBA Finals to win a chip. Then, when he gets LeBron, he gives the keys to his own franchise to the better player. That is a level of humility we almost never see in pro sports, outside of like when Steph Curry gave the team to Kevin Durant. But Harden has beefed with his best teammates, from Dwight Howard to Chris Paul to Russ to Kyrie. Now, he and Jeff Teague still think that he's a top.
So basically, if James Harden didn't have such a huge ego, he'd probably have some championships right now. Makes sense.
Top player in the NBA who can just demand a trade. It's about to kill player empowerment and no one is happy. But the most fun storyline next year is Rookie of the Year. Wemby versus Scoot versus Chet Holmgren. I looked at who will win the award and why it won't be Wembanyama.
Maybe we'll check that out another day, Chet. All right, let me do one last video. Y'all made it to this point. Y'all been sticking through like most of the whole stream, dog. Y'all real ones for real. I love y'all. Drop a sub and put something in the chat for real, for real. All right. Show your boy some love. Drop me a sub on YouTube as well. All right. Last video. This is another James Harden video, but this is about my boy Microphone. And since the video is longer, I'd like to think he'll take like a deeper dive into the situation. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on. This is wait for my scroll. Hold up. No, go up. I'm pretty sure my mouse ain't broken. Oh, sorry. Not action. Right. 1 second. John broken for real, for real. Scroll up, mouse. What are you doing? I don't want to reload this, because I might lose my kill. And like YouTube tends to do that when you like lagging or whatnot. They do that. Chat, I ain't gonna give up, chat. Review this video for you. If YouTube wants to cooperate with me, y'all stay with me for real, for real. Check in the publicity post I put on my story. I'm finna make like an IG based on my channel, and y'all can go like that up. I'll probably make it when I hop off stream, for real. All right. My scroll ready. Oh my goodness. Go up. Bro, it ain't scrolling, dog. Scroll. Yo, my bad, chat. What's up, bud? Probably because I'm lagging so much. Or like I got a bunch of stuff open. Bear with me. Don't get all grizzly. No joke. I'm finna make that into a shirt. I gotta figure out a way to stage it. Like these two people are being mad at each other, right? Like one person getting mad at another, or like telling a long story, or he's like, bear with me, or something. Don't get all grizzly on me now. Will that work? I don't know, dog. Finally. All right, chat. We back. Both working.
The James Harden situation just reached a brand new breaking point, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. What started with James Harden just wanting a contract extension,
we are interested in bringing him back,
led to him and the Philadelphia 76ers announcing that he wants out.
Houston's a very real possibility for Philadelphia's James Harden. Upwards of $60 million in cap space.
And now it's...
No. Gosh, he's going to ruin all the good rookies there. Or second-year players. What they got there? They got like Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. I don't think Kevin Porter Jr. is freaking. I mean, he's a veteran. Or whatever. They're gonna ruin all the talent down there for real, because he's gonna be a hog.
Seems.
Okay, maybe not because he's gonna be a hog, but like. I mean, he's James Harden.
Like James Harden got finessed again, and he's trapped.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that is a part of.
So before we get to the content, we're currently.
He essentially just dissed the entire, like all Sixers fans, bro. That's gonna come back and bite him in the behind, for real.
Currently coming to you guys live from the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. My apologies if the room is a little bit dirty and if the camera quality is a little off. You know how much I love getting you guys content while I'm traveling. So make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications. Because no matter what scenario I'm in, if there's news, me and my team will always get the content out to you guys. And now that we get all of that.
Y'all go to drop a sub to the Flight Mic, for real. He's like the plug when it comes to NBA and NFL news, for real. His NFL channel is Microphone, MIKEERPHONE, and basketball channel is the Flight Mic. All right,
That out of the way, cue the intro.
Hold on.
And now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro.
No, that's good.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? On October 27, 2012, Daryl Morey made one of the biggest moves of his entire career, a decision that would without a doubt alter the course of his legacy for the rest of his career. And that's when he executed a trade for the Oklahoma City Thunder's exciting and promising sixth man, James Harden. He would take this sixth man and make him into one of the most dominant offensive players in NBA history.
You know, his explosive years at Houston is probably what jacked up his ego so much. That's probably why he's in. It's probably why he's in so much trouble right now.
And you could just tell based upon how Daryl Morey spoke about James Harden during his Houston Rockets tenure that he genuinely believed that he was the greatest offensive player of all time, as you saw in this interview.
But I don't think they realized James Harden was as good as he is now, right?
That's correct. To be fair, I don't know if anyone did. We put all our assets in to trade for him, but no one could anticipate he'd be the best player in the world. Like,
why did you put all your assets? Why him?
Both the eye test, because he looks amazing. I think anyone will watch him. But if you looked at data at the time, once he had the ball in his hands, and it's still true to this day, and I get a lot of because someone asked me who's a better scorer, him or Michael Jordan, and it's just factual that James Harden is a better scorer than Michael Jordan.
Based on the math.
Based on literally, like you give James Harden the ball.
I mean, kind of has a point. You got to take in the era that Jordan and Harden played in. Jordan played against a bunch of guys who weren't as athletic as the average NBA player right now. So Giannis, the average NBA player, like you get a whole 5v5, like average high school players, average varsity high school players versus the average NBA players. The average NBA players win. You know what I'm saying? But like, you play a 5v5, the average NBA players back from Jordan's era, like mid-90s, versus today's average high school varsity. honestly, I put my money on the high school kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the era, you know? I see his point.
Ball, and before you're giving up the ball, how many points do you generate, which is how you should measure offense. James Harden is by far number one in NBA history, and he was number one even at the Oklahoma City Thunder. It just, he was coming off the bench. It was a little more hidden.
And I have to give credit where credit's due, because despite being handicapped by an owner that didn't want to exceed the luxury tax, Daryl Morey used advanced analytics to put the best team around James Harden at all times. Whether it was poaching Dwight Howard from the Los Angeles Lakers in 2014, or moving away from trying to get James Harden, a superstar big man who was on the tail end of his career, and bringing in a future Hall of Fame point guard to pair with him in 2017. And even once there was drama between James Harden and Chris Paul, right away, Daryl Morey did whatever it took to appease James Harden, trading away Chris Paul and bringing in Russell Westbrook. But eventually, the Houston Rockets clearly decided to go another way after their lone season with Russell Westbrook and James Harden didn't provide the results that they were hoping for. Mike D'Antoni moved on, and so did Daryl Morey. In that fall in training camp, we started to really see the true personality of James Harden. There are reports of him throwing basketballs at rookies in Houston Rockets training camp. He was wearing fat suits in preseason games. And right when he finally had the opportunity.
How do you even play basketball in a fat suit, dude? That's wild. Never really thought about it that way.
To speak to the media about what's going on, he said this.
We're just not good enough. You know, we don't obviously chemistry, talent-wise, just everything. And it was clear, like I said, these last few games. I love this city. I literally, you know, have done everything that I can. You know, I mean, this situation is crazy. You know, it's something that I don't think can be fixed. So, yeah, thanks.
And at this point, I would say I didn't really like the way James Harden went about this, but I understand the philosophy. You're on the Houston Rockets for nearly a decade. They did everything they possibly could to build a contender around you. You won an MVP with the Houston Rockets. There were multiple scenarios where you were very close to making it to the NBA Finals, but it was clear that it was time to move on. And at this point, I think it made a lot of sense for James Harden to start chasing a little bit. And immediately, the Houston Rockets traded James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. And at this point, I thought everything was fine. I mean, James Harden got what he wanted. He got to play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. There were moments where we thought the Brooklyn Nets were building an unfair super team with the amount of talent that they were acquiring through the buyout market. Yes, they were acquiring players that were a little bit past their prime, like LaMarcus Aldridge, for instance. But when James Harden, Kevin...
I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge used to be a problem in Portland. But, you know, he got old and whatnot.
Durant and Kyrie Irving played together. This team was an offensive juggernaut and were one of the most terrifying offensive basketball teams we have ever seen in NBA history. Problem is that they didn't really play with each other all that much, partially due to injuries. During the 2021 to 2022 season, James Harden was faced with yet another test, this time in the form of one, his own injury issues, and that contributing to his inability to play with the Brooklyn Nets, but two, dealing with Kyrie Irving and his stance against vaccination and not playing in basketball games because of it, which without a doubt could be one of the most legacy defining moments in NBA history, because Kyrie Irving's decision not to get vaccinated resulted in him sitting many games because New York had some of the strongest restrictions against players.
I mean, Kyrie Irving is like, he's back to form down in Dallas now, so he's good.
Players that didn't get the vaccine. There were other things behind the scenes.
I hope he wins another chip, though.
As well, including James Harden not feeling like he was featured as much as he should have been with the Brooklyn Nets offense. But eventually, the Brooklyn Nets gave James Harden what he wanted. Ben Simmons was holding out for the Philadelphia 76ers all year long, so the Brooklyn Nets traded James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. Now, at this point, I thought this was a slam dunk. James Harden has a potential MVP post star at this point in Joel Embiid. He's reunited with the general manager that elevated his name to superstar status. At this point, James Harden made $270 million throughout his career. Considering how he played in Houston for the majority of his career, he didn't really have to pay a significant amount of tax like he would have if he played in, I don't know, LA or New York for all of his career. And considering how his effectiveness dwindled a little bit because the NBA recently passed brand new rules for drawing fouls, which without a doubt made James Harden less effective, we could all agree that at this point, James Harden was past his prime, but was still a very, very good player. And when James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers lost to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
I remember listening to that game on the radio.
And right after, Joel Embiid even said this.
Since we got him, everybody expected the Houston James Harden, but that's not who he is anymore.
Harden decided to show the ultimate commitment to his franchise by taking a significant pay cut, going from $47 million a year to $33 million a year on a 2-year, $68 million contract, second year being a player option. With that money, the Philadelphia 76ers did everything they possibly could to make themselves more competitive, pursuing players like Daniel and PJ Tucker relationship with. Now, this past year is where things got a little interesting. Around January, you started to hear rumors that James Harden would like to go back to the Houston Rockets. As a matter of fact, in April, we heard that James Harden's future is very unclear in Philadelphia. Houston is very much in play for him. Eventually, we would get this huge article from Sam Amick titled James Harden, the Houston Rockets, and an undeniable bond that refuses to go away. This article discussed James Harden's love for Houston, the extracurricular activities, the tax savings, and his love for the ownership as well. I personally believe that this was implanted by James Harden's camp just to give him some leverage. And we were even seeing funny memes like this: James Harden and Ime Udoka at Houston strip clubs next season once Ime Udoka was announced as the head coach of the Houston Rockets. You see, the Houston Rockets had a plethora of cap space, which would be more than enough to pay for James Harden and even potentially bring in another superstar teammate, but eventually they ended up signing Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet and kind of committed more to developing their own homegrown talent, which I don't necessarily think is the worst idea.
I can't wait for this upcoming NBA season, bro. It's going to be awesome.
They hit a brand new breaking point for James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers, losing to the Boston Celtics in a very embarrassing fashion during their final.
That was hilarious.
Final game of the season. James Harden would have some very interesting moments. The first one being when he was asked to endorse Doc Rivers as his head coach. This is what James Harden had to say.
How has your relationship been with Doc, and would you like to see him back?
Our relationship is okay.
And shortly after, Doc Rivers said that he expected to coach the Philadelphia 76ers next year.
Are you planning to be the coach of the team next year?
Yeah, I think I got 2 years left. So,
given the tenor of what you've seen happen in the last 2 or 3 days, where coaches of the year, guys with titles.
Yeah, no one's safe in our business. And I get that.
The Philadelphia 76ers would announce quickly that they were moving on from Doc Rivers, opting for Nick Nurse. Now, this was probably done to appease James Harden. I mean, Daryl Morey said from the very beginning that he intended on bringing back James Harden.
Follow up with James, obviously having the player option. Do you anticipate him being back here with the Sixers, being able to re-sign him?
James. We can't have those discussions yet, but we are interested in bringing him back.
But eventually, we would find out that James Harden wants to completely move on from the Philadelphia 76ers, announcing on July 1st that he was going to opt into his $35.6 million player option en route to asking for a trade, which means he's opting in for the purpose of hoping that he could get traded to a different team. His ideal destination was the Los Angeles Clippers. And apparently this is why James Harden is so upset, because he feels very betrayed by how the Philadelphia 76ers handled his free agency, at least according to this article by Sam Amick back in late June. Why James Harden's reunion with Daryl Morey in Philadelphia went south and what's next in their looming divorce. Now, bear in mind, this came out right after James Harden said that he was going to opt into his player option just to find a trade to a different team. And you could tell how he kind of screwed himself over here. And the language in this article is hilarious. It says, while it seems likely that James Harden will land with the Clippers, it remains to be seen whether his longtime basketball partner, Sixers president of basketball operations Daryl Morey, will grant this unexpected wish. Sources say, however, that there is strong optimism on Harden's side that it will indeed happen. Both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are said to be on board with the idea of Harden potentially joining their core. Even with the playoff frustrations and the
All right, they got Russell Westbrook. I was like, what other stars do the Clippers have other than Kawhi and PG?
challenge of sharing the spotlight with someone as dynamic and dominant as reigning MVP Joel Embiid, there was a sense around the league that the chance to contend for his first title again might be enough to bring James Harden back. Moreover, many believe that the late May hiring of Nick Nurse to replace Doc Rivers as coach would lead to Harden resigning. But in the end, sources involved in the matter said that it was a series of silent Sixers signals sent in recent weeks that compelled Harden to pursue that goal elsewhere yet again. And bro, this is what I mean when I say I feel like some stars in today's NBA are so freaking spoiled, because if James Harden just wanted more money, why wouldn't he have just stayed in Houston the whole time? You demanded a trade from Houston to the Brooklyn Nets so you could compete for championships. And then you demand a trade from Brooklyn to the Philadelphia 76ers because you could reunite with Daryl Morey, the general manager that always understood you, and still compete for championships without dealing with all of the media headlines. And now you're demanding a trade from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers because you want more money? I mean, how does that even work? So when Harden decided,
dog, just get your chip, then worry about money.
Take a significant pay cut nearly a year ago, declining
build your legacy.
His $47.4 million player option with the Philadelphia 76ers.
You got that player to
How does that even work? So when Harden decided to take a significant pay cut nearly a year ago, declining his $47.4 million player option with the Philadelphia 76ers to sign a 1 year plus one deal. $4 million player.
Jokic is standing there.
Player option with the Philadelphia 76ers to sign a 1 year plus one deal in which he would be paid $33 million for the 2022 to 2023 campaign. There was a widespread belief that it was a classic case of quid pro quo. James Harden would give some money back as a way to help the Philadelphia 76ers fill out their roster, thereby inching them closer to a title that has eluded the franchise since 1983 and for his entire professional career. And in the following offseason, many presumed the 10-time All-Star and former MVP would be handsomely rewarded with a contract more befitting of his future Hall of Fame talents. Now you can see back then James Harden had significantly more leverage. The article teases him potentially rejoining the Houston Rockets. This is before free agency after all. But as you can tell, Harden's leverage significantly diminished following this, and I have to admit Daryl Morey handled this masterfully. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, we found out that the Philadelphia 76ers have ended trade talks on guard James Harden and plan to bring him back to training camp for the start of the season. The Sixers had periodic off-season conversations with the Clippers, Harden's desired destination, but no traction on a deal materialized. Now, I don't think you necessarily had to be a genius to figure out that this is what was going to happen because, well, the Clippers don't really have any assets to make the Sixers improve, and James Harden already opted in at this point. So by doing this, James Harden is yet on another year of a contract where he's getting paid less than what he believes he deserves. This is kind of what happened with Kyrie Irving last offseason with the Brooklyn Nets. He demanded a trade with the Brooklyn Nets and threatened to opt out if they didn't trade him, but there was no market for Kyrie Irving's talents, like there wasn't any market for Kyrie Irving's talents when he was with the Dallas Mavericks this past offseason as well. So Woj continues to say that the Sixers and Harden agreed to seek a trade together after Harden picked up his player option for 2023 to 2024, but Philly believes that as a championship team with and want to find a reason. Harden has been emphatic in wanting a trade, so the Sixers are setting up an uncomfortable situation to start camp. Ultimately, Philadelphia wouldn't make a trade that they believed would compromise their title hopes. So Daryl Morey is playing hardball with James Harden in his camp. And for those of you guys wondering why James Harden is stamping his feet, it's because he believes that he is deserving of a long-term max contract from Philadelphia. Harden is unhappy with Sixers president Daryl Morey over a lack of a long-term maximum level contract offer, sources said. And the Sixers are risking Harden's arrival at training camp, bringing with it anything but a championship mindset. So if you remember last year, there were a lot of reports about James Harden is locked in on winning a championship. He has a championship mindset. That's his primary focus. And honestly, I praised him for taking the pay cut that he did. But if he invested it wisely at all, I feel like he's going to be okay when it comes to money. And again, if he just wanted money, why would he demand a trade from Houston to begin with? Well, things are getting way worse. I mean, it's getting really ugly because we waited a couple of days and, well, Daryl Morey pretty much told James Harden what we all believed. And that could be best summed up with this meme. So it gets way worse.
No. I love you, man. But you're not a serious person.
Because James Harden is still declaring war on the Philadelphia 76ers. He doesn't plan to play for Philadelphia despite the end of trade talks. And this is coming to us via Sam Amick. And the article opens up with exactly what I was thinking. In a situation that is reminiscent of the Ben Simmons saga 2 seasons ago, a team...
I knew it.
Source confirmed to The Athletic that the 76ers have decided to end trade talks on disgruntled star James Harden and are now planning on him being in training camp late next month. Yet, as Sixers president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey, is well aware, the prospect of fixing this fractured relationship between Harden and the organization that he no longer wants to play for is not that simple, not even close. No matter what signals the Sixers might send when it comes to trade talks, a source close to Harden reiterated that the 10-time All-Star and former MVP no longer wants to play for Philadelphia and has no plans of taking part in training camp. Does that mean he won't report if a deal doesn't go down by that point? Or that he'll make a messy spectacle of his training camp arrival like he did when he was trying to get out of Houston back in December of 2020. That part remains unclear, with Harden's side still expressing a belief that there will be meaningful developments on the trade talk front before that time comes. The source spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the sensitivity of the situation. And it's really interesting because the guy that James Harden was traded for, Ben Simmons, was in this exact same situation. He quite literally held out in training camp going into the regular season because of how frustrated he was. And I don't necessarily know if that worked out so well for him. Personally, I feel like if James Harden got traded to the Clippers,
Well, that right there is thunder.
We'll see a drop-off in his production. I mean, between Russell Westbrook, Paul George, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard, assuming that they're all healthy, I don't know if there's enough ball to go around. And wasn't James Harden frustrated on the Brooklyn Nets because they weren't featuring him enough on the offense to begin with? But the article continues to say, trade talks between Philadelphia and the Clippers this summer have clearly been stagnant. There's no need for the Sixers to make a public proclamation like this if it wasn't the case. But as always, there's a human component here that will make these next 7 weeks worth watching. So Harden plans not to report to training camp, and he has no interest in reporting to training camp. And it seems like at this point they're just going back and forth, because we would get a viral video of James Harden quite literally saying Daryl Morey is a liar and he'll never be part of the organization that he's a part of.
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of. Let me say that again.
Is that clear?
Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
Could we stop and just appreciate the absurdity of this clip? Daryl Morey is a liar. The man that quite literally elevated you from a 6th Man of the Year candidate and put you in a position to win your first MVP. Because bear in mind, James Harden doesn't win MVP if it's not for Daryl Morey bringing in Mike D'Antoni and trying to recreate a system similar to what the Phoenix Suns of the James Harden. As a matter of fact, is practically the same system, except you replace the Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire pick and roll with the James Harden isolation. That doesn't happen without Daryl Morey. And this is how James Harden feels about Daryl Morey now, just because he's not paying you $14 million more a year. So Daryl Morey is relatively unmoved. It's almost like a man that's in a toxic relationship, because according to Jason Dumas, he still plans to keep James Harden despite this. So it seems like Daryl Morey is well versed in James Harden's behavior, and this is not over in the slightest. Now, Kyrie Irving would actually reply to Adrian Wojnarowski's tweet that says, disgruntled Harden calls the 76ers president Morey a liar by saying, is he disgruntled, Adrian, or is he holding Daryl Morey accountable for his dishonesty and lack of transparency throughout the contract negotiation process this summer? Which, by the way, I find it comical that Kyrie Irving is calling out Daryl Morey for not holding himself accountable for his dishonesty and lack of transparency in regards to contracts.
No.
He quite literally did this.
Chill out,
to
dog.
leave us like LeBron left us.
Oh.
It's a great question. No, I won't leave. I'm not leaving.
This.
You guys
Liar.
will have me back. I plan on re-signing here next year.
And most recently,
liar. He lied.
Left the Brooklyn Nets after saying this. Once that summertime hits, I know we'll have some conversations, but there's no way I could leave my man.
Liar. Kyrie lied.
7 anywhere. But at the same time, there's a huge issue here. We've already discussed the huge history that James Harden and Daryl Morey have with one another. I mean, Daryl Morey has elevated James Harden's career. There's no dissing that. But at the same time, James Harden feels cheap.
And nothing against Kyrie Irving personally. You know, I'm still a big fan of the guy, but like, bro, be real when you're saying if you're gonna stay or not, dog. Be real. I mean, maybe you had to say it for the media so they didn't like smear him, because Boston media is, if anything, it is tough. I guess I can't understand why he said no in front of all those kids, because like, so pure Cavaliers fans, they probably would have been really sad if he said, yeah, I'm probably gonna leave. I don't know. Probably had a reason. I don't know. Let's finish this video.
Why? Because they had a handshake agreement that James Harden should get paid a max contract following his contract's expiration or after taking a pay cut for a year. And now it seems like Daryl Morey is going back on that promise. And as a result, James Harden feels betrayed. And I don't blame James Harden for feeling betrayed. Like, don't get me wrong. I think he's made more than enough money and he should be taking small little pay cuts just to slightly increase his championship window. But at the same time, it's never a good feeling to be lied to, especially in business, especially with quite literally the only man you could really trust as a general manager. Daryl Morey's doing what's best for his team. From a business standpoint, there isn't much of a market for James Harden in a trade or if he opted out as a free agent. But at the same time, I don't blame James Harden for feeling betrayed. At the end of the day, I think James Harden is getting paid what he deserves. He's no longer the superstar that he once was. He's a really freaking good player though, but he keeps shooting himself in the foot. We talk about how Kyrie Irving always grabs headlines and shoots himself in the foot for winning championships. Probably the greatest example of this is leaving LeBron James when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers and then leaving the Boston Celtics and that young core to join the Brooklyn Nets is probably the best example. Or hell, even leaving the Brooklyn Nets once they were starting to look very, very promising in the middle of last season, because
I mean, he wins another chip though, it probably still end up being a Hall of Famer though.
See eye to eye with ownership. But I'm gonna make an argument and say James Harden shoots himself in the foot way worse, and James Harden is being placed in better situations than Kyrie Irving is. He's quite literally getting everything he wants each and every stop that he's at, and it seems like he's never satisfied no matter where he is. So this is not over. If we have seen from years past, if we've noticed what happened with him and the Houston Rockets with the fat suit, we all know training camp is going to be a movie. We're going to bring you guys every single update as it comes. So let me know what you guys think about the James Harden situation in the comment section down below. Do you think that he's being rational here, or are you on Daryl Morey's side? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
I see you, Mike. My thoughts, honestly, James Harden is a right to his feelings for real. Like, he can feel how he feels, but like the call to a man who really gave you a chance to be the superstar, bro. I think that's a little much, bro. That's a little much. But like anyways, we made it, chat. We made it. A minute, not a minute, hour and 55 minutes stream. Y'all made it to the end of this stream. Y'all still watching there? Drop a sub, like the stream, and turn on notifications so you know exactly when I stream. All right? Tell your family, tell your friends about your boy Rich. Because, you know, we on a growing spurt, you know what I'm saying? We finna, not like a takeover, but like, we growing. For real, for real. So, I ain't gonna hold y'all for any longer. It's your boy Rich, and I am out. Peace.